Good afternoon, folks. This is Jay from Cold Nights, and you are watching the Cold Takes Gaming Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, my good friend Alie from Allie's Wonderland and the Naggy Alie. How are we doing today?
All good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Ready to have a good show. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So, real quick before we get into it, in case for some reason people don't know who you are or they're not familiar with you, give me a little rundown on what you're working on and what you got going on.
Okay, so Alie in Wonderland is basically a couple of things, YouTube and Twitch. On the YouTube channel, my focus is platformers and Metroidvanias. On my Twitch channel, I basically support all indie developers, so I would stream a variety of different content there anytime that I have free. I also am now a writer for gamesreviews.com, which is basically similar where I write reviews on video games that I'm playing, and mostly they will be focused, well, the majority would be Metroidvanias and platformers. So that's something that I'm doing on the side. And yeah, it's just a very friendly community trying to show my love for video games, things that I enjoy doing with the community that follows. So if you haven't heard of me, just give me a follow and maybe you'll like my content.
Good deal. Yeah, Allie is definitely the queen of Metroidvanias. So, real quick before I get into our planned topics, Allie spoke of community. There is something I want to address, and I want to be very clear that this isn't a joke, and I'm not taking any of this lightly. Recently, a couple of my good friends and myself have come under attack from salacious trolls on the internet, saying outlandish things, and some of my friends making rude comments about their appearance, making sexual comments. I just want to be clear that nobody in the JRPG or Cold Knights community will stand for this. We can stop you, and we will. I promise you. We will not stand for it against any members of our community, against anyone in general, period. End of story. I want to be clear. We're not going to be specific. I'm not calling out names, but just know we will stop you. What do you have anything to say about these kind of things, Allie?
I think that I have the best advice is that a lot of these people are behind a camera, like behind a internet, behind a computer that we've never really actually seen. We don't know who they are. A lot of these people, they have their own mental health instabilities. They utilize this, I guess, specific, I would say, I can't say diagnosis because I don't know who they are, but like I guess they utilize this as a reason to inflict pain to others. We don't know what their situations are, we don't know what their personal ideologies are, what they have been going through as children. So they utilize this and they attack, people that either maybe someone that they actually, you know, relate to even, or someone that they just feel like maybe they're personally being attacked for it, so they have to go and attack us for it. So they have nothing to do than just find us on social media, make fun of us, troll us, make us feel bad so that we have to stop. The best thing or the best advice to content creators who are trolled by these people is just keep making more content. They're going to eventually get annoyed that you're not paying attention to them, that you don't give a shit, about all of this kind of stuff. And then they're just going to get bored and go on to the next person, sadly. But, the best thing we can do is just report their accounts and continue living our lives because at the end of the day, we don't know who they are. They don't know who we are. They just see our face. They have no idea where we live, where we come from, what our background is. So it's not like they're hurting us, physically, mentally. Yes, it's uncomfortable. It makes you feel really bad. You feel personally attacked. But if you fight back by just being who you are and just ignoring, you can bypass these trolls who eventually will get bored because we don't really focus on them. So that's something that I feel I do. If I ever have a troll, that's what I do. I really don't give a shit. So, like, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, yeah, it's going to be upsetting, but at the end of the day, I'm who I am. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's fine too. That's how it is.
Very good. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these attacks attack or target women in the gaming space, LGBTQ people. Just know that we won't stand for that. And any of my viewers or followers, if you're targeted and you need help, reach out to one of the people in my community. and we're certainly there to support you, to help in dealing with these people and these issues for sure. All right, so that's the last I'm going to say on it. Hopefully, these silly things stop, and we can all get back to enjoying the games that we do so much. So, with that being
100%.
said, let's get on to some happier stuff. So the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about is anticipated games, Alie, that you have that are coming out through the rest of the year, maybe beginning of next year, that you're really looking forward to.
I have so many that I don't even know how to explain them, but I can tell you for the rest of the year. I'm really excited to actually sit down and play Mario RPG again. It was a game that really takes me back to when I was young with my family, my mother and my brother and I. We would sit down and we would play Mario RPG, like the old SNES version. And I remember we would play this game together, try to solve it. Back then, I don't remember if we had a guidebook, so it was like very difficult to decide, where to go, what to do. And like we would just sit there and I think, oh, I remember now. It was game FAQs. Now
Game
I remember. And game FAQs would tell us like where to go and like we would play this game and it was just such a nice experience to get together with your family. I think that's what video games were about back then. It's not as much now. I do see some people still interact family like with family playing video games, but nowadays it's just like everyone to themselves with their phones and whatever and just nobody really spends that quality time and like I want to replay this game. I even told my brother like, hey, should I stream this with you so we can act like it was back then but now, because I missed that experience. And another game that I'm really looking forward to, and if you guys have ever seen my YouTube video where I talk about like what makes me a gamer, I talk about Star Ocean Remake, the second story. It's coming out on Switch finally. And my brother, when he was younger, this was when he just started gaming, he took my memory card and erased my entire Star Ocean file, which I had like a lot of hours on. Yes, I was so
Oh,
upset. It was so painful, and I never finished that game because of that. So I'm excited because I'm gonna replay that game. I'm gonna be like shutting off my social media just so that I can play Star Ocean, and nobody is touching that game. I'm
if
gonna finish it.
if that happened to me, I'd have one less brother.
I should so I should have hung him on the wall, taped him. He's watching this probably. So
That's terrible. But
it
I'm
is.
definitely excited for that Mario RPG. I
uh,
remember playing the original on Super Nintendo, loving it to death. And I'm also excited for that kind of remake they got going for Thousand Year Door, especially
oh yes.
since when I tried to load up Paper Mario Thousand Year Door on my GameCube, the goddamn disc was too scratched up to read it. I had a
I
whole
heard
stream
about
going,
that.
everyone was all excited, and I literally like blew a fucking gasket that night and couldn't even stream. I was so upset. So I'll be excited to see that come out. Maybe I can resurface the disc so it still has some
I
collector's
mean, you
value.
can also play the new one. I think people would love to see the newer version.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I mean, it's just I know that it sounds silly that we're so excited for remakes, but this is our childhood games and this is what makes me
Mm-hmm.
happy. It's not like people like nowadays are like, "Oh, why are they putting out these kind of games like it's just remakes of what we played before?" But no one understands. It's the nostalgia of the game. It's like it brings us back to all these memories. It's like when you go into a room and you smell a familiar smell and all of a sudden you smell that like you feel and memorize like the memories come back to you and everything. So it's like the same thing with video games. You're playing a game, you can actually picture what were you doing same day, same time during that video game. Like I can do it. I don't know about you, but like it brings me back, and that's what's so important.
And it's huge too because if you think of like us, we're in our 30s 40s, we have this huge history with games. Someone who's like 22 years old didn't get to play Suikoden.
No, they
They didn't
didn't.
get to play Paper Mario. They didn't get to play Mario RPG. And even with something that like they released the information on today with Persona 3 and Persona 4 getting physicals, that's going to be a huge deal, and a lot of people who didn't get to
Yes,
experience those games in their original form will finally get that chance, and then we get to
100%.
relive it. So it's a great win-win situation.
And if our children like to play video games, it's a great way to like get together with them, be like, "Hey, look, this is a game I used to play in X amount of years, and now I want to share this joy with you." Like, it's special, I guess. This is what it means. It takes away that life out of your head and your phone and brings you to something completely different. So there is a difference. I know people are like, oh, but spending time on video games is like spending time on the phone. It's not. Very different.
No,
It's
I definitely agree. It's a much more interactive thing.
yes.
It's an experience that can be shared in a much different way than,
hmm
chatting on the phone or using Instagram or Facebook or something.
Exactly, 100%.
So what else are you looking forward to?
There's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to that are indie titles. So a lot of Metroidvanias are coming. I don't want to get into the whole list, but definitely something that I'm excited for. There's a lot of variety of Metroidvanias now because nobody wants to kind of copy Hollow Knight anymore. So they're trying to implement new creativity into it. So like Blasphemous 2 just finished. I got 100% on that game.
Nice.
And like I just Metroidvanias for me are great. There's like a whole bunch of titles, like I said. So like just maybe stick around. My YouTube channel should portray a lot of them. I also like city building games. So there's a lot of those. I don't want to get to names. So it's not like just Nintendo Switch titles. Like nowadays, I'm like trying to open up myself to very different genres. And I might have a wish list of 140 games because there's so many, like so many indie developers, so many awesome games are coming out. And it's just so exciting to be able to have such a variety, like to see how video games progress from when we were kids to now. There's just so much and it's so overwhelming too at the same time because like you don't know what to play. Every day there's a new game coming out. So I'm really excited for a lot of different things. Really definitely excited how the Nintendo Switch is getting, more titles. It's expanding. Probably we're going to see the new Switch by next year. So it's just awesome that we're getting all of this stuff. It's like I'm a little kid opening up Christmas presents every year. So that's how it is with Directs. Like Direct goes, I'm like, all right, where's my wallet? Like I grab it and then I'm like, oh, it's empty. But you know what? Here's a credit card. And let me just go shopping for all these games that they announced. But it's definitely something that definitely takes out the stress in your life. I just a great thing. I don't. There's too many titles to go through. The two that I'm most excited for though is the Mario RPG and Star Ocean. Everything else is just a bonus for now. Next year titles seem like promising, but I guess we'll have a direct for follow up of all those next year titles. So I can't really say what I'm excited for just yet. But definitely that Paper Mario game is definitely working for me. I'm excited for that.
Good deal. So something that's coming up that is very special to all of us is the Cold Nights Halloween special. Now, you were one of the original cast members in the original special that I made shortly after meeting a couple of people that became my great, great friends. So, kind of explain to me what that experience was like, getting to know other content creators and to work together on something like that.
The time that you asked me to be on this special was actually when I just had started YouTube. I didn't even know how to press record yet properly. So it was a little daunting, especially since I was with other content creators and, they must have had more experience already than I did as well. So I felt a little bit of pressure back then to like really like outdo myself. I think that this year I'm more prepared. I have a variety of games that I can talk about, so I'm still kind of debating what I want to do. But usually that's the case with me. So even with schoolwork, I wait till the last minute. um, but definitely what I enjoyed was that I got to know a community of people that I might have not gotten to know otherwise if it wasn't for the Halloween special. Everyone that was at that special were very, dear, very kind. Getting to know them since last Halloween till this Halloween, my opinion of none, of all of them haven't changed. Um, I, it's a it really does bring a community together. So like when I see sometimes comments on collabs where they're like, "Oh, I came to see this person, not this person." It's kind of frustrating because they don't understand what a collab is. A collab is for all us content creators who are part of the same community to get together to share what we love. And actually, it's kind of like having a friends get together and hang out because we don't do it in person, right? So for us, collabs are like basically us hanging out with other content creators, trying to share a common interest. I think it's really special. And I think that the viewers who actually follow us should realize that, this is like a whole bunch of content creators that got together to show us something very wonderful. It's a nice experience, and I think it goes both ways, for the viewers and for us. It brings the community together. That's what it does.
For sure. And like I almost feel like that Halloween special last year started my community in Cold Nights where we had a whole bunch of people come together, and now we have a wonderful Discord, and we have a core group of people. We support each other on our videos, and we have a lot of good discourse on Twitter. So I kind of see that as like the beginning of like the Cold Nights lore. So I'm super excited to work on this year's. We're going for a pretty creepy theme. If any of you haven't seen the teaser, check it out on the.
I saw it. It was kind of
It's
weird.
kind of going for like an ARG alternate reality
What did
game
you
kind of
do with Miss
analog
Mandy?
horror thing. So, but
Oh,
it seemed
poor
pretty neat.
Mandy. I was like, oh my God, is that Mandy?
Yep.
I was like, oh, what the heck? Where did she even get the costume?
That's great. So, we're gonna have another teaser coming before we get to that, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But as far as people not liking other people being on the collabs, if anyone ever says that to me, they can just get out because
Mhm.
you guys are my heart and soul in this. So if anyone ever says, "Oh, I don't want to see this person, I don't want to see that person," okay, well, you don't have to see them. You can get out.
Exactly.
Get out. We're done. So, because I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna feature the people I want, and those are my friends and my valued community members. So that's how that is. So it's good to take input from people. It's good to take constructive feedback, but not about something like that. So for sure.
True.
So what kind of projects are you working on right now?
So I have to do a couple of unboxing videos that I won giveaways for. I haven't even thanked the communities that I won it for because I've been so busy. Um, and I will have those videos probably sometime this week. I have like maybe 4 Metroidvania YouTube videos that I have to get out to the public. Um, Maybe two of them haven't been released yet, and one of them is a game called Mandragora, which people who are backers were able to play like an exclusive demo. I really want to get that out to you guys too because the game is just it has such beautiful graphics. It's a Souls-like game, very similar to Dark Souls, but it's in Metroidvania form. And I think people who haven't backed it should definitely take a look. This game is really like, I think it's going to be one of those like top tier Metroidvanias of the year it releases. Um, then I am working on a couple of like Twitch streams. I'm trying to see like, what games to start streaming, a schedule more like it. But one of the biggest things that I'm starting, and this is still like kind of debatable, but I'm working on it. I want to start writing poetry and taking it out into Instagram. I haven't really utilized my Instagram a lot. I feel like it's just sitting there. And I have written stories and poetry since I was little. Um, and I just recently started to kind of write poetry again. And I was like, maybe I should do like my voice over the words of my poetry and kind of just make reels of it. So I have been considering it, and so far I'm like looking into the idea of this project. I think it would be really nice. And if you guys are interested in poetry, then definitely Instagram follow. You'll see some stuff happening in the next several weeks. So that's one of the
Nice.
biggest projects. Yeah. I'm excited for it because it's been a while since I wrote, and a lot of people who grew up with me in my childhood who know that I've been writing since I was a little girl, they're always like, "What's going on? You haven't written. Like, you're a great writer. You should be writing that book." Because I've had ideas to write since I was little, but I've never actually sat down. But now that I'm like pushing away the school, getting over with that, soon I'm gonna have that extra time. And I think that poetry is a nice way to express yourself. And I think that if people are interested in seeing like, you know, the love and sadness and pain and just real life like inspiration put into words, then definitely check it out. You might actually enjoy what you read or hear, depending on if I read it out loud when I actually make the reels. So that's that. And then gamesreviews.com. Yeah, like I was entered into the team. I'm really excited. So far I have 2 articles out, so not a lot, but again, it's a blog. I don't have like a set time limit. I could just play games that I'm really interested in and then write it into that blog. Um, And I do have some games lined up that I'm gonna have to write articles about, a couple actually. So it's really exciting. It's great. You know, developers have started reaching out to me if I want to do a review on a game. So it always feels really nice when that happens too. So I'm growing, but slowly, but I'm happy, you know? I'm content because I'm not trying to, it's not for the followers. I'm just doing it because I really love gaming and I'm really excited to like show that kind of stuff to my community. So it's definitely refreshing. I'm enjoying content creation, but not for the views, but for the hobby, for making me feel like it's like a wholesome thing, I guess.
Good deal. So that actually brings me to a question topic I wanted to bring up with you, and that is, how does it feel to kind of like enter the gaming press? Like, so you went from, making like your own like amateur reviews and coverage of games on YouTube to now actually writing for an official publication. So kind of like, how did you get into that for one, and how's it going so far?
I wasn't going to ever go into it actually. So I have someone who's a great friend and a mentor, and he noticed that I'm also a writer. And he kind of pushed me to do it. I didn't even know that I was being pushed into it. I thought I was just going to, my first game, which was Blasphemous 2. He's like, here, play it and finish it and give me your idea of it. And I was like, okay, and I wrote what I think for him. I didn't even think I was gonna be the one. I was just like typing, like all the styles, like here, use this, rate change it, put it in your own words and enjoy. He's like, what are you talking about? You're doing this. I'm like, wait, what? Like I was just stuck into it. So like, I didn't know. And then when I realized what's going on and I actually did it, it felt really nice to be able to write again. Like I haven't written my last like article that I wrote was probably in high school. I haven't really utilized that talent because I just like shut it down for being a mom and a wife and freaking working full time. I never really sat there and was like, let me just write for fun. And writing for fun, it really does feel so good. It's so good that it's like I'm part of an official, press website and people know the website. It's not like I'm just writing and it's just for me and nobody really goes into my webpage. No, like, from what I understood, a lot of people enter that article. And so my voice is important. And it felt really nice to feel that, and to call myself a writer when I've always wanted to be a writer and just kind of quit on that dream, it definitely feels really nice. It's an achievement and I'm proud that I actually ended up doing it and I'm thankful to my mentor for allowing me the opportunity. Um and now I just do it on my own. So my like next article was written all by me and just had it edited and we published it and when I did I was like, wow, I did it all by myself. Like this is not like somebody telling me what to do. Like it felt really nice. It's refreshing. So if you're interested in writing and you feel like you're not going to be able to do it, I definitely encourage you to try. It could
So
be
what
rewarding.
exactly is the name of the website where people can find you at?
It's gamesreviews.com. So it's games with an S, reviews with an S.com. And there's reviews on a lot of things. The team posts articles, I think it's even daily, possibly. So, if you're interested in reading about reviews as opposed to watching them on YouTube, then definitely check them out. They're a pretty known website. They have a Twitter too. So go
So
into
can
that.
you imagine yourself in the future writing for other larger publications?
I mean, anything is possible, right? But that's not my end goal. My end goal eventually is to create a video game or something related to video games with the mental health community. So, like, for example, maybe I will share my passion for video games by working with a children's hospital and implementing a program for an intervention utilizing video games. So this is something that is my end goal in the future. Maybe writing a podcast for mental health, but for the video game community, something like that. I don't know if I really want to go large with writing, but if it ever happens, if I'm good and someone notices it and they're like, oh, the opportunity is there. Yeah, why not? I mean, if it's there, it's there. I can take it. If I have the time for it, sure. But that's not what I'm aiming for. I have a whole different idea and dream coming for me. So
That's awesome. Well, it's really nice to hear not only that you're being successful, but how it's making you feel, and it's making you feel accomplished and proud. And those are feelings that a lot of adults through the everyday like work and rigmarole don't necessarily get to have. They just barely get by. They get through the workday, they pay their bills, they go to sleep, and they do it again. So having like a good feeling of contentment and something to be proud of is huge. So I know that everyone, in my community and all of our friends are very proud of what you've done, and we think it's awesome, and we hope to see you succeed.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go to break, and then when we come back, we have a lot more with Alie. Yeah, nothing I like better than chowing down on delicious gourmet pizza while I listen to the rain. That sentence would make sense if you were like the rain on the roof or the rain outside. Nope, the rain on the Steam game. But whatever. We're nerds. That's what we get. And we are back, folks, with the second half of the Cold Takes Gaming Podcast with our special guest, Alie. Alie, you still hanging in there?
I'm trying.
Good deal. Good deal. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is what we have been watching and playing recently. So what have you been getting into on TV or for like series or animes or anything like that?
Okay, so right now I am between like three animes. I'm watching Hunter x Hunter, and I know there's no ending to that anime, but I don't care because like I started it and I really fell in love with it, and I think I have to finish it, obviously. So whatever finishing they do have is fine with me. Watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and of course it's because, Gojo is in it and that's my husband. No, that's a given. And so believe it or not, I just started One Piece. I think I'm crazy if I'm gonna be watching 1,000 episodes and over, but the reason I started the anime version was because I started the live action version first, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was like, this is nice. Like, I was up to the third episode and I started to hear like all these spoilers, and I'm like, wait a minute, I like need to see what this is about. And like obviously the anime goes into more depth than the live action. So I stopped the live version to go and watch the anime, fell in love with the anime. So I definitely think that if you've never seen One Piece, thinking about watching it but are like daunted by the 1,000 episodes, just do it because it's really captivating. I didn't think One Piece was that good. I was those type of people who were like, nah, who wants to watch like an anime about pirates? I want to watch like, romantic animes. And here I am like sobbing my eyes out, in like episode 30 of like One Piece. And I'm like, nope, I'm staying with this anime. And it was all because I started the live action and fell in love with the person who plays Zoro, which is my Kenyu, which I'm totally simping right now. So if you haven't seen him, he is like so far they're saying like he will be like the most well-rounded actor because he's captured Americans, he's captured the Japanese, like he's singing. Has anyone ever like have you guys been hearing his voice like in the One Piece live action? Like just with his voice, you're like, oh my God. So, definitely already purchased like figures. Like I've just purchased his live action figure to put on my desk because like, I have to have him on my desk 24/7. But yeah, like I've never really cared about actors like that, but like for some reason he captured me, so that's it. Like now I feel like I'm gonna be like those crazy girls that if I ever see him in person, I might like faint. Um, but yeah, One Piece, like definitely forget like I love the live action because of that, but like when I went into the anime, oh my gosh, like I don't know if you guys have seen One Piece. I know you have, Jay. What episode are you up to?
I want to say I'm at like 200 maybe.
So you're also in those. Yeah, like I mean, I have people like my brother's like already up to date with it, and I'm just over here like, how can you? But he watched it since he was the little. He started watching it with me in the room. So I was the one that initially started One Piece when I was like, I think I was 16, I want to say. And I was like, oh, okay. Like it was okay when I was 16, because I was 16 years old wanting to watch anime and it was on like channel 11. And then I guess I started to go out. I had a boyfriend at the time and like I stopped, but my brother continued. So he's been watching One Piece since back then and he hasn't stopped till now. And I'm just starting One Piece and he's like, "You're not gonna make it. Like I'm giving you till episode 100 and you're not gonna make it." So, yeah, that's basically what I've been watching. Yeah.
One Piece is so good. My favorite all-time character in One Piece is definitely Crocodile.
I
Um,
haven't gotten up to him yet, so
but if you love One Piece, I definitely suggest to you and anyone else play the One Piece Pirate Warriors games. They're actually a great way if you wanted to jump ahead in the series. They're a great way to get like a digested story. Um,
oh,
and
nice.
of course, they have the traditional like Dynasty Warriors, Muso type gameplay, so they're pretty addicting with that. So I definitely suggest to check those out. I do have to
Nice.
get to that live action series though, because a lot of those like Netflix live action series, a lot of people weren't big fans of them, but this one seems to have a lot more fans than a lot of the other
Oh
ones.
yeah. Yeah, like even like I was just on my website where I followed Danny Chu, who is like the creator of Smart Dolls, who's in Japan. And even he just created a doll based on the Nami character. Like he creates the
Nice.
doll, so he made Nami and he was like praising One Piece and like, Netflix finally did a great job. And that's coming from someone who's in Japan. So like even if the Japanese are thinking that it's a great series, then it's definitely, you know, hopefully they're contracted for many seasons to come and it wasn't just like a one-time thing. I really did enjoy it. I think it was really good.
Awesome. Good deal. So, kind of the next thing that we had kind of wanted to talk about was kind of a little bit going back to like the mental health and like content creation and self care. So, I know that you're a huge advocate for more people being aware of struggles with mental health and, going out and getting the knowledge and the help that they need. So, tell me a little bit about how you feel about, mental health and how it kind of relates to content creation in the gaming space.
Lately, I've noticed not just in my communities, but like on Twitter, like a lot of people have been talking about how they're burnt out or they're not in their right mind to do content creation or they need to take a break because they're like not really feeling the gaming anymore. Like there's a lot of different scenes. There could be like, issues and people just with socializing, people can get anxiety. So there's a lot of different factors of being a content creator. You're not just creating content, you have to be involved with your community, have to play video games and nonstop provide content. So it could be really stressful. It can really burn you out. It's just kind of like having a second job. So I was always I personally am going to speak from my experience what I think is a good way to balance content creation and gaming. This is just from my point of view. It is not, any medical advice. It is not, you know, something that you should go out and do. You can always find your own way, but this is what I do. Lately, because I started reviewing games, playing video games, YouTube, whatever, like it was like a whole bunch and Twitch, I started to notice that I haven't picked up my Nintendo Switch. I haven't really read like a book. I haven't really done anything for myself because I felt like I've been doing everything for everyone else. So like content creating, writing articles, any of these games, it's not because I'm picking them, it's because they're coming out and I have to review them at a certain point of a date of expiration if I don't get to it. So I start stressing out and I'm just like I recently I was like I'm really tired of this. Like I really just want to play something that makes me happy. I don't want to play games that are being forced into me. So I created a schedule and I also promised myself that if I'm starting to feel overwhelmed with content creation, there's no pressure. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm doing this as a hobby. So I'll grab anything that I really want to do for me personally, and I just ignore social media for a few hours or for a day or anything and just be myself, do myself, not have to, uphold a certain quota of tweets a day, not having to socialize about content creating or writing reviews or not having to be, even involved in my own community. Like I have a Discord and sometimes I want to be around for everyone, but sometimes I also want to be quiet and just do my own thing. And I noticed that it helps a lot with your content creation when you focus on also yourself and what makes you happy. It's not about everyone else. It's about you at the end of the day. If you're not happy, you're not providing the great content for everyone else. So I have been playing some games for myself lately, and I have to tell you, because of that, I have like extra time. Like if I have like an hour somewhere, I'm like, okay, let's do this review, you know? And it makes me feel better because it's like I already did for myself what I had to do. Now, if I have extra time, I will do stuff for my hobby. It's not the other way around, because if you focus more on your hobby and not yourself, you will feel overburned, overtired. You're not going to provide that content. You are going to feel upset, stressed. And that's when it comes to like, if nobody watches your videos, if they're not sharing it, if they're not caring about it, you start to feel like, why am I even doing this? You start having doubts. Forget about that. Focus on yourself and what you love to do. Make hobbies your like, I guess you could say like your third part of your life, because first is you and work and family, right? So hobbies should be that thing that you do when you have that extra time. When we were kids, our hobbies were, let's say, after school sports, after school playing video games, after school going out. We didn't make hobbies our number one. We made hobbies like when we have extra time. You know, we did our homework, we went to school, we had to help our parents, and then only then, if we had extra time, it was hobbies. We should treat content creation similar to that. That's how I'm treating it, and it's working for me. Am I going to get a lot of followers that way? Probably not. But again, I'm not doing it for the followers. I'm just doing it to share something I love with the community. If your goal is to get a lot of followers, that is a little bit more trickier. You do have to post frequently. You do have to provide content all the time. So my suggestion is, if that's your case and that's who you are, still implement something where you give yourself 24 hours to recover and be you, because you are you. You're not a content creator. That's just who you want to, portray. But you personally is a whole different story.
Oh, that's some really good thoughts there. One of the things that really helps me is making sure that I'm as supportive of my content creator friends as I can be, because one of the big things I believe in is reciprocity. So that if I am always putting my neck out there and always putting in the effort to share and appreciate my friends' work, hopefully they'll do the same thing in return. So that is definitely one of my big things of advice. Be very supportive of your friends. And my second piece of advice would be to don't necessarily look at the big picture. Look at the core group of people, even if it's only 20 or 30 people that respond, that react, that comment, that share your stuff, and make those videos not only for yourself, but for them. And put in that work and effort for them. And when you see them appreciating it, if your video doesn't crack 500, if it doesn't crack 1,000, you still have those awesome interactions with your core group of fans and followers and friends that you can lean back on, that can make you feel good about what you've done. And I definitely agree with taking time out. I haven't posted a video in a couple of weeks. I've been struggling with things. And it's time to get back out there. And I feel recharged. And sometimes that break might be a week, sometimes it might be 2 weeks. And you're absolutely right. Was I gaining subscribers at the same count as when I was putting out videos every week? No, but I'm not going crazy. And I'm not calling you or my other friends like in tears, freaking out because no one's watching it or no one's sharing it or whatever. No one's liking my posts on Discord. Like, that's not necessary because I'm trying my hardest to just lean on that core group of supporters and friends and take time for myself. So I think those are some great things. So another thing I wanted to get to, because you're like the queen of a lot of stuff, like Metroidvanias, you know a lot about mental health. But the thing you're the ultimate queen of is giveaways. So you literally have won more giveaways than I've ever seen anyone win. And we're not talking about like little piddly shit giveaways. Like you're winning like huge valuable things. So my question is like, what is your thoughts on giveaways and how often do you enter them? And do you have any advice for people that
Oh
want to
my
try to
God.
win at the same rate as you? Freaking lady, you walk over here.
Maybe you should come here, give me a hug, rub it off you. I don't know what I did. I entered a computer giveaway. I got a computer giveaway. I entered all these other giveaways. Like I have them right here, but I want to show it in a video,
Yeah.
obviously. But if you like look into my YouTube channel, like I do like show the PC that I won, which is based off a platformer with some Metroidvania elements to it called Saga of Sins. The mosaic like design was beautifully done. Like I when I first got it and I won, I was in shock. Now I'm like recording on the PC. Like my gaming has upgraded, my content creation has upgraded. Like I out of everything that I got, like the computer's value was $2,500. I just had to add like
Yeah.
maybe another 500 instead of spending all that money just to get like an additional memory card and another hard drive, and I got a monitor. I think that's about it. Like everything else was it was given to me and the shipping was provided. I'm so thankful for that company, but I'm so also like I couldn't believe that I won. That my community in my Discord literally sends me links now and they're like, "Can you enter this for me? Can you enter this for me?" I'm like, "Wait a minute. I already entered for myself." They're like, "Well, if you win it, can you give it to me?"
Like, what, are
Because
you
I
praying for
just
this shit? Do you have like a lucky cat statue over there that you're
I
like, what are you
don't
doing?
know. I have no idea. I'm just really lucky in this sense. Maybe I should play the lottery and see if I win
Yeah.
because I mean, I'm really blessed, but sometimes I also think that it's because maybe the companies when they say it's like random pick, maybe it's not really. Maybe they look at like active accounts too and they want to see that you're not just a giveaway account, that you're actually like a person who's interested in video games because like I know that with giveaways, it's really hard to just provide someone a game or a physical or a computer just to anyone. This person could just sell it back and that's it. So we don't know, maybe that. But I know that a lot of my friends entered that PC giveaway and they didn't win, and they're active social media accounts. So I have no idea. And it's funny because when I entered it, I was like, oh my God, I hope I win. I hope it's me. And then when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, it's me. And like I checked every day for an announcement and I was like, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. And it was me. So I have no advice for giveaways. I just think enter them as much as you can and see if you win. But yes, I have won a good amount of stuff this year. Eventually that luck is going to run out. I think it just happens to be luck. And if like the stars align for you for that year, I
I
don't
think
know.
you're probably gonna keep winning. I think you have some like supernatural like clairvoyance ability or something. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But I do also offer giveaways to people. So and like in right now and currently between Twitter and Discord, I do offer giveaways on my Discord for my members. I'm going to be starting to do like maybe a video game digital key here and there, maybe a gift card to Nintendo, like depending on, my financial situation as well as what I can offer. I'm definitely going to start putting up stuff for the Discord community as well because they have been my greatest support and they've been with me for since the pandemic. But I also started doing giveaways on Twitter, um, you should see we have like I have a physical that I'm thinking about putting out to give away for Made in Abyss, which is an RPG anime. So, it's not, I think it's just luck. And also, I give back to the community. I think it's important to give back to the community. So I feel like that's the same in real life too. Like, as long as you're there for everyone and you try to give your attention and care to people, I feel like God blesses you back 2 times more. I really like that's my outlook on life. And so it's the same way with my gaming, community. So,
Wow. So what I'd like to get to next is our lightning round that we always do. So we are getting a little short on time, but we are going to go through this and get some quick, good info on you. All right. So you ready for a lightning round?
okay.
All right. What is your favorite dish?
It's okay, so it's enchiladas suizas. It's a Swiss enchilada. This is something that I've always loved. It's my favorite dish. I don't eat it often, but it's just so delicious. The Swiss cheese melted over the enchiladas is really delicious. It's also baked in the oven. So yeah, that's my favorite dish.
Wow, that sounds really good.
It is.
Now I want to make that. What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
I would have to say that it's KFC, which I've been craving for a while now. So yeah, KFC would be my favorite fast food.
All right. If you ordered KFC right now, what would you order for yourself?
I would order a three-piece spicy chicken with their French fries and their, I guess it's a bread, a muffin bread. Yeah.
They're like
So
biscuit or
they're a
cornbread?
biscuit. Yeah, that's what it's called. Like, I
Biscuits
don't know. I
are
just know that it comes in there.
good. All right. So who is your favorite actor?
Well, now it's McKenyu. It's always gonna be now. I don't have anybody else. He
I
replaced
knew
everybody.
it.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So what's your favorite movie of all time?
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Good choice. Should I even ask what your favorite anime is?
Actually you can. It's completely different. Favorite anime right now currently is Demon Slayer.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, that might change the more One Piece you watch.
Yeah, that is true.
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Good deal. And what is your favorite book you've ever read?
A Great and Terrible Beauty.
A Great and Terrible Beauty. I'll have to look into that one. What's that about?
She has supernatural powers of going into a different world, and she goes to this boarding school with other girls, and it's a young adult fiction, but it was always my favorite. She has three novels. It's a trilogy, so kind of fantasy.
Nice.
It's really nice.
Cool. What's your favorite TV series?
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries, huh? Interesting. Good stuff. So who is your favorite YouTuber that's not in the cold crew?
Oh, so the thing with me is I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. But um, wow, no, I only have the Cold Crew community groups.
That's the right answer. There you go. That's the best answer you can give. What's your
Oh,
favorite style of music?
oh, I listen to everything. So my playlist can go from hip hop to pop to reggae to K-pop to reggaeton, all the
Nice.
way down to like bachata. So like you have no idea. Like you can be listening to like worldwide music in my playlist.
That's awesome. So, what's your favorite band or musician of all time?
My favorite band is Breaking Benjamin.
Nice.
That's my favorite one. Um, I guess just regularly it would have to be wow. No, Breaking Benjamin wins.
All right. So, what's a hobby other than gaming that our viewers might not know that you have?
I collect pins from all over the
In.
world. My
Nice.
grandfather was a Marine in his country and he left me, I guess, like a good amount of pins. And so I promised him that I would travel around the world and collect pins to follow his journey. I haven't been able to travel, but I will. So, I will start finishing off his collection. So it's not like anime pins. They're like pins, like from all over. Like when you go to like a gift shop in every country, you'll purchase a pin. So
Nice. That sounds awesome. And it
yeah,
has like a good meaning behind it too. It's not like you're
definitely.
just doing it randomly. So that is very cool. So that concludes our lightning round. And we're just about out of time here. So real quick, once again, if you want to let our viewers know where they can find you on all your socials.
It's always at Naggy Alley, except for Twitter, which is Gamer X Naggy.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, we certainly wish you luck with your writing and all your
Thank you.
YouTube and Twitch endeavors. And we certainly appreciate you coming on the show. And, everyone knows you're one of my besties. So it's always a pleasure to have you on. All right.
Definitely.
So thanks again. And viewers, thank you for watching. We certainly appreciate you tuning in. I hope you'll subscribe to Alie on all of her socials. And if for some reason you're not subscribed to me, please do. It really helps the channel. And as always, stay
Stay
creepy.
creepy. I can't do it like you.